thanks for stopping by, first and foremost. My name is Jeremy Monroe. I'm the General Manager for Wargaming America. So I run all the publishing activities for Wargaming here in North America, Canada, and soon to be South America. We're here talking about a couple of different things. One, of course, is that we're 15 years old. Two is that we just added another office. We're continuing to grow. We're 1,600 employees now, which is about 500, 600 difference from last year. And then, of course, the big news that we're here talking about is our partnership with Microsoft and bringing the very successful World of Tanks from the PC over to the Xbox 360. And over the next couple of weeks, it's going to be moving into a beta phase. Right now, it's a little bit of a technical beta phase, and so we're working out some of the certification process with Microsoft, and then some of the technical and load components to make sure the servers can handle the number of people that we know that it needs to be able to handle. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start to let people into the beta, press like yourselves, and then players that have registered on worldoftanks.com/Xbox. A lot of the questions that people are asking are, is it a port or if it's built from the ground up? It's not a port. Our development studio in Chicago, which was formerly Day One Studios, now Wargaming West, is building it from the ground up. It's heavily inspired by the PC version. So everything that people are familiar about with our games, as far as the historical accuracy, the attention to detail, and the specs of the vehicles and things like that, that's all going to be there. The competitive nature of the game, being 15 on 15, being PvP, being tactical, being strategic, those components are all still going to be in the game. Where you're going to start to see some key differences are obviously in the UI. We're talking about a different kind of experience when you're playing an Xbox game versus a PC. PC game is about a 2-foot experience, where Xbox is about an 8-foot experience. And so how we define the UI and the types of information that we put on the screen are very important. Where it's important and where we're trying to do something a little bit different than what happened on the PC side is making sure that the information that's provided is very critical, right? So it's critical, it's intuitive, it's user-friendly, and so the screens will give you a better profile breakdown about the strengths and weaknesses of the tanks, its firepower, its maneuverability, its traverse speed, which is the turning of the turret and maybe going up hills, its horsepower and things like that. All of that is much easier to find and identify in the game than it is in the PC side. Also, it's really critical from a UI standpoint that we're looking at better ways to educate people about the different types of tanks. Right, so all of those same tank types will be in the Xbox version. So when we launch the Xbox version, there's going to be 3 nations. There's going to be the US, Germany, and UK. When we launch, there's going to be 60 tanks. It's really important that I remind everybody that the game is free. The content is totally free, and it will be free on the Xbox Live platform. All of the content initially, all of the DLC moving forward will be free. It is going to be on the Xbox Live platform, so there is that component of being a gold member. But what we were able to do with Microsoft is get them to agree to allow us to silver members to play for free for 7 days. So for 7 days, they'll be able to play like they have a gold membership in our game, which is great. Obviously, the PC is keyboard and mouse. Here, you're going to be using a gamepad, and a lot of people were asking whether or not that's going to be a hard switch, and it's not. It actually feels very natural. A lot of the controls are going to be very similar to the controls gamers are used to if they play FPSs, right? They've only really kind of dipped their toe into free-to-play. They did Happy Wars, which is obviously a different game than World of Tanks. They've never done a game of this scale under the free-to-play banner on their platform. And so they're learning a lot about what it means to be in free-to-play, what it means to be able to take care of a free-to-play game, but most importantly, what it means to take care of free-to-play gamers. And free-to-play is predicated on a very strong community. And so we're going to take care of the community, and they're going to help us take care of the game and distribution and getting the game to people and monetization. And so working out those handoffs is a really critical part. And for us, free-to-play is in our DNA. We only make free-to-play games now. It's great for us to be able to bring such a successful free-to-play game to the console, and we think that's going to help change the free-to-play space, because none of the console guys were doing free-to-play very heavily before this year. But now that they are, I think it's really adding a lot of legitimacy to the model. I think it's a really important thing for the industry, and it's certainly a great thing for gamers. Some other things that you'll be able to buy are like emblems for your tanks. So for you guys being from Brazil, if you want to put a Brazilian flag on your tank, you could do that. If you're in a clan, you can put your clan emblem on the tank. So things like that are areas that we'll monetize. One of the important gameplay things that you're going to notice is different is the pacing. So a lot of Xbox games, like the traditional FPSs, they're very fast-paced, right? They're very action-oriented. So when you play the Xbox version of World of Tanks, it's going to be a lot faster. The pace is going to feel a bit quicker. The tanks are going to feel a little punchier, maybe a little more agile than some of the tanks that you find in the PC version. The initial game mode is going to be the same. It's 15 on 15, capture the flag, or kill all the enemy. So that's where we're starting. Ideally, we want to get to the same place that we are on the PC side and add more game modes, but right now we're just focused on the one. Actually, one thing we didn't talk about that's really important is that with the Xbox Live platform, you get built-in chat, voice chat.
Oh, okay.
So in a game like this that is very team-oriented, it's very competitive, having that in-game voice chat is very important. And for whatever reason, the PC side, we just haven't been able to get that right. You know, we still use Ventrilo and TeamSpeak and stuff like that, whereas on the Xbox side, it's there. It's inherent to the platform. So you can see here, this is a detail screen that you wouldn't see in the PC version. So it's telling you about the strengths of the different pieces of the armor, the strength of the gun, the view range, the number of hit points, the speed, the rate of fire. The gun traverse is how quickly the turret turns. And so this is something that we don't have on the PC side, and it's really important, you know, because the game is actually very complex. It's very deep. There's a lot of strategy. It's important to know the strengths and weaknesses of the tanks and the different tank types.
Okay, let's see if he kills this guy, and then we can end with a kill.
Something's hitting you.
Okay, it ended with a kill. It did.
Way to go, dude.